In this section, we will discuss gram-positive and gram-negative endotoxin bacteria and their mechanism of action. So the endotoxin can cause a problem by inhibiting protein synthesis in the host. How to inhibit protein synthesis? By attacking 60S ribosome. And what will it do? It will de-adenation of messenger RNA, removal of the adenine from the messenger RNA, and it will cause inhibition of the protein synthesis. And who will do this thing? There is a Exotoxin which does the de-adenation of messenger RNA of the 60S ribosome, and it will inhibit protein synthesis. And Exotoxin is released by Shigella, which is invasive, and it can cause dysentery, bloody diarrhea, inflammatory diarrhea. And then we have the enterohemorrhagic E. coli, EHEC in the short form, which is non-invasive, and it can cause dysentery as well as hemolytic uremic syndrome. So Exotoxin affect GIT mucosal cells and also kidney cells. So this is one way of inhibiting protein synthesis. Other way is inhibition, not inhibition, actually ADP, ribosylation of elongation factor 2. When the elongation factor of protein synthesis is ribosylated or inhibited, the protein synthesis inhibit, and the cell cannot withstand this because as the protein is very much important for the survival of the cell. When the protein synthesis is inhibited, then the cell cannot survive, the cell die. And it will happen by which toxin? There are two toxins: diphtheria toxin, which is released from, as the name indicates, Corynebacterium diphtheria, which can cause myocarditis and also can cause pharyngitis as it colonizes the respiratory epithelium. Pharyngitis, pseudo membrane formation, also severe lymphadenopathy, which can cause bull neck. And along with diphtheria toxin, there is another toxin which is just exotoxin, of Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and it can cause a list of diseases. So simply we can call it protein synthesis inhibited, then the host cell die. Next, we'll discuss The next mechanism of the exotoxin affecting the cells are increase watery diarrhea or increase fluid excretion. And how it will happen in the GIT? It happens by the increased secretion of chloride and increased secretion of water and decreased reabsorption of water and sodium chloride. So this is general mechanism. And who will do this? There is a bacteria which can cause traveler diarrhea, enterotoxogenic E. coli, which can produce heat labile toxin, which can cause adenyl cyclase activation by GS, increasing camp levels and promote chloride and water secretion. And it has also a heat stable toxin which can affect by activating guanylyl cyclase, which increase guanosine monophosphate and which decrease the reabsorption of sodium chloride and water, both of which can cause increased fluid secretion as well as also known as voluminous diarrhea or watery diarrhea. Like the labile toxin and its mechanism, there is also a toxin which is known as Vibrio cholera, which can cause cholera. It can release cholera toxin. It can act same as the labile toxin. Also, there is also another theory or also another mechanism in which the cholera can increase serotonin secretions in the GIT tract, which can cause voluminous diarrhea. And the last bacteria we have Bacillus anthracis, which can cause anthrax. It just mimic adenyl cyclase, increase the level of camp, and it can cause the edematous cutaneous borders of anthrax. Next three topics we will discuss later on in the next video.